So, the official banner of Luna's second first phase is here, which are Nefer and Furina. Yeah, pretty exciting banner. I know that many of you would probably try to get either Nefer or Furina. And the 4-star on the banner is actually pretty interesting. Now, we did got call it right in our prediction video, but Yao Yao and Xingqiu is quite unexpected. But overall, as usual, this is going to be a video discussing a bit of what I think about the banner and the 5-stars that are going to be coming to help you guys make the best decision before you go ahead and pull on the banner. So if you do find the video helpful and enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing to the channel, as it is a free way to support me and not miss out on my future Genshin videos. Nefer, as well as so many other amazing Not Cry character, is going to be coming soon, and I know that many of you are trying to get them. So if you're planning to swipe for pulling, then don't forget to check out Loot Bar. If you know me, I've been recommending you guys Loot Bar before, since you can always save almost a 25% on all of your top-ups. With over 100,000 orders and so many good reviews at this point, you can be sure that Loot Bar is trustworthy. Here you can see my order receipts of all of my top-ups that I have done. A 6.0 is the anniversary patch. Loot Bar is holding a special discount for the all-in-one bundle, and it's actually a pretty nice discount. Other than that, you will also be able to claim 1.5% coupon as well as 2.3% coupons for the rewards as well. So guys, be sure to check out Loot Bar through the link in my description, as it can be a great way for you to save your money, especially if you are topping up a large amount. Alright, first off, we have Nefer. Now, I've already made a couple of videos regarding Nefer, especially the whole video on her kit, and as well as a bit of the investment discussion video there. So if you'd like to look more in depth into Nefer herself, you can check out those two videos after. But for me personally, what I think about Nefer is that she is an interesting character. We love to see Dendro DPS character having a bit of a comeback after Lunar Bloom arrived, right? Especially Laoma being here to have Nefer being a lot better as a Dendro DPS character over kit surrounds Lunar Bloom. Though the sad part still that she's a little bit too locked into Lunar Bloom. Now that is technically not too new of the thing, because in the past we did have Nilou, which is pretty much locked into Bloom team herself. But also what I kind of felt sad for Nefer is that she doesn't work with Nilou herself. And Nilou has always been technically one of the best Bloom team out there that we have access to up until this point. I would have loved it if there was a little bit of correlation between Nefer and Nilou's kit in some way, but well, now her seeds just turn into Seed of Deceit for Nefer, and we can't really trigger that for Nilou Bountiful Core. But hey, I kind of understand the reason why they're doing it is because they're trying to make have like a new team for Nefer, and especially with Not Cry character coming, it is a way to actually sell newer characters, and that is totally understandable. In terms of how much Nefer damage is going to be capable of doing, I'm pretty sure she's going to be at least the top 5 DPS character in the game out there. Depending on your investment, of course, if you have the best of the best investment, I'm pretty sure she's going to be making it in the top 3, top 2. So yes, hugely potential of a character. If you are looking into the meta, I do feel that she's probably going to be an easier character to play around with as well. Her rotation, from the look of it, if you want it to be simple, you can do it in a simple way. If you want to optimize it to make the best of her rotation, there are ways to do that. We'll definitely look more into it whenever she officially arrives. But well, either way, do note that she is again a hyper carry character, so pretty much is going to be in a lot of competition depending on your account state, because I'm pretty sure you guys already have quite a number of DPS character out there, and also I do feel that you may also have a number of Dendro character out there that you can also be used on your account. So yes, Nefer is going to be pretty much a personal preference character. She's not going to be a must-have even when you are looking into kind of like the meta comps, because again, there's so many other DPS team comps that have already been able to help you clear Genshin impact that you can prioritize. So in all honesty, Nefer is technically just another DPS character that you would like to pull whether or not you like her, but there's obviously no denying that she's going to be a very powerful character if you do actually end up getting her on your account. Now, a lovely drama queen is also coming back, Furina. I believe she's already had a couple of reruns, but while Furina is Furina, I'm pretty sure many of us love her as a character, especially if you've already went through the Fontaine story quest, and investing in more of Furina is definitely one of the better things that we can look into, because someone who have already got a lot of Furina constellations, I can actually vouch for that. I'm pretty sure you all know how good of a character Furina can be with all of her sub DPS damage potential, hydro application off field, all the damage increase that she has access to your team at a C0 level. She is capable of doing a lot and a lot. And that's not mentioning she is one of the better characters who have really good exploration capability out there in the game, for you are able to walk on water whenever she is in her E skill mode. And it's actually pretty OP because Furina has the ability to have that 100% uptime, because the E skill lasts for 30 seconds with only a 20-second cooldown. So that's practically an infinite uptime, unlike some of the other Natlin or potentially not Cry character who are locked behind Phlogiston for Natlin character and other limited E skill uptime for Lauma, for example. So there obviously is no denying Furina's ability in helping your team out. She is still one of the better sub DPS supportive character out there in the whole entire game. But again, as I've already discussed quite in depth in this video, Furina overall is still going to be debatable if you don't have her yet on your account at the current point. Well, unless you really like her, I'm pretty sure she's going to be a very good pull, but there's so many potential future not Cry supportive character out there that we have to look into, especially we've already talked quite a bit about Columbina potential being a very good hydro supportive character that's going to be coming. I'm pretty sure Columbina is going to be able to do really nice DPS numbers as well. So if you don't have Furina right now and you are thinking about your future not Cry character investment, I think it's gonna be better to wait a bit more time. Maybe think about waiting for at least 3 weeks during the first phase of Lunar 2nd to see if there's any newer information toward Columbina, and then potentially make your decision then. So that's for those of you who haven't got Furina. But if you've already got Furina, you're thinking about investing into either her weapon or constellation, yes, it is still one of the better investment that you can make. She has one of the better C2 in the game, and her weapon is really nice also. And it is a very good way to extend kind of like her meta capability if we're looking into it, because the more constellation you have, the better Furina is going to be, and the more complete she is. As I've already discussed before, her C1 and C2 especially is really nice for herself. So if you are looking into those kind of investment, I really do wish you good luck. Which is where it leads us to the more important part of the banner, obviously, are the 4-star. And while I like my prediction in the previous video, I believe I talk about the potential of Yunjin, like Kirara Fremine potentially being here, but they end up only being Kale, which is overall not too bad, because Kale is still one of the more free-to-play characters that you can have access to and use, which is kinda okay. But that is the good thing, because Kale is a decent character and she's the worst 4-star on the banner right now, as we do have Yao Yao and Xingqiu. Now, I don't really think I have to talk much about Xingqiu still being one of the best supportive character out there in the game. I do wish you good luck getting more constellation all the way up until C6 Xingqiu, because he's absolutely fantastic, which Hoyoverse really did went out of their way bringing back Xingqiu this early, because he has just been here since 5.8. And I think that's kind of like a trend nowadays, where if the 5-star character on the banner actually demands a good 4-star, then Hoyo is going to be going out of their way bringing back a really good 4-star character. So yes, it's a good thing that Xingqiu being here. Now Yao Yao, though, even though she's not too good, but her value is still there, because she's one of the few 4-star Dendro healer that we've got access to. She has decent Dendro application off field, and her constellation isn't bad. So if you do end up having more constellation Yao Yao, I think it's kind of fine. So over the 4-star is really nice if you are pulling for Nefer and Furina on the banner. So hopefully, I wish you have some decent 4-star if you are looking into it. Which leads us to the weapon banner. Looking at the weapon banner, Nefer's weapons, I honestly have no idea what Hoyo was smoking when they decided to make this weapon official, because the insane amount of crit damage you're having access to, basically around 124% crit damage, 8% crit rate, 120 EM being given, just purely on this weapon alone, you're basically not needing a single artifact pieces, and Nefer is already doing amazingly well. Now obviously this weapon is catered toward Nefer herself. Generally you can use this weapon on some other of your character, and you know, it will still be a decent stat stick. The other character though I think is going to be able to make the most use of this weapon is going to be Laoma herself, and other character probably not going to be able to make full use of this passive, but overall insanely good of a stat stick if you do happen to get this weapon. Now on the other hand, the Furina weapon is a little bit less valuable. Even though it's got decent crit damage stat, the passive is rather hard to use and mostly only catered toward Furina herself. I mean, if you do happen to lose on this weapon, you can have it as a stat stick and it probably still going to be fine. And so I mean, the 5-star could have been worse. It would have been a lot worse if it was actually either Zhongli or Alekino, because if you do lose to those character weapon, it is honestly quite a bit worse compared to Furina's Splendor. Now the 4-star options though, interestingly we do have the newer Not Cry weapon series, and I just have to say that all the sword, the polearm and the catalyst are pretty decent, with the sword focusing on the character that uses a lot of elemental burst, so it is a little bit more limited, but there are a couple of characters that can make use of the sword, so it's still nice. Polearm is interestingly giving you a little low crit rate but insanely high base attack on the 5-star level of a base attack there, though I don't really care too much about base attacks usually. Would love it to have more crit rate if it was the case. Now the passive is interesting, would be suited for more of a sub DPS character that uses a lot of their E skill, so you know, like Escoffier, maybe in FR, those kind of character can be decent. And then I think the Catalyst is probably the best out of all of them with a 55% crit damage, and then quite a bit of EM on the passive, and I'm pretty sure most of the character who uses this weapon will be able to make full use of this catalyst. So yes, it is the best out of the 3 Not Cry 4-star that is appearing on the 4-star section. Pavonis bow is going to be nice, so it's good. The bell, probably the worst one out there, but considering the most of the other options are pretty decent, I think it is an okay bet if you are going for this weapon banner. Which leads us to one of the more important discussion whenever we are touching on the banner themselves, is going to be the characters that are coming after, especially in the second phase and a bit in the lunar third phase as well. Now we know that Alekino and Zhongli is going to be here. Overall they are pretty much preference character because, you know, Alekino, depending on whether you like her or not, still a pretty solid pyro character herself, but she is preference, and Zhongli is pretty much a skip at this point. I probably don't see any reason why you guys think of pulling Zhongli unless there is potential of him being buffed in the future. Hopefully he does, but I don't see it anytime soon. So thinking about future lunar third character phase is probably the better way to go. And up until this point, there has been saying of Durin being the 5-star limited character introduced in the game, and I think Durin's going to be having huge potential of him being a pyro supportive character, slightly better than Xiangling potentially, and then there's going to be all those potential Hex and Circle character buffing. We'll definitely need to wait for more information toward that, but it is going to be a huge meta shift potential if Hoyoverse decide to focus on those kind of things. Other rerun potential have been saying there's going to be potential of Neuvillette, Escoffier and Venti. Probably a reason why Venti is here is because of Durin. Well, you know, maybe the story is going to go back to a bit of Mondstadt. That's going to be interesting, and if there's going to be a bit of Hex and Circle kind of buffing, potentially Venti is going to get buffed, and I'm interested to see that. Now Neuvillette, still probably one of the best Hydro DPS character out there in the game. I don't know if this is going to change if Columbina comes, but if Columbina is going to be a sub DPS supportive character, then Neuvillette is going to get a buff. So very solid choice if he does come back and you're lacking in Hydro DPS meta character. Escoffier, more of a preference character depending on whether or not you use a cryo team. But if you do use a cryo team, Escoffier is one of the best supportive cryo character out there in the game. So Lunar Third, if that does come in, is going to be huge. But yes, these are all non-official information and we are just speculating for you to think about your primogem usage whenever Lunar Second comes. So guys, I think that's everything I have to say regarding the first phase of Lunar Second. I hope that the video have been helpful to you. If you do have any question, guys, leave it down in the comment section and I have some other lovely Genshin players who will get to you there. Again guys, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on my future Genshin videos. Without, I wish you a super day and I'll catch you on my next video.